Next up is from Mark Wallace. Greetings, Campea Crew. Two of the most anticipated smaller films coming out this summer are the James Gunn film Brightburn and the Blumhouse movie Ma. If you had to make a guess, which film does best on their opening weekend?
I'll tell you what, Brightburn is one of these films that we love hearing about. It's one of these movies that comes out of nowhere. Like I heard, James Gunn's producing some Brightburn thing, or whatever that is. And then all of a sudden a trailer drops. And we all go, what the F is this? This is magnificent. This is glorious. I cannot wait. It's crazy how excited I am for Brightburn. But then you also got Octavia Spencer, like one of the best actresses in the business right now, doing something totally different for her, playing a totally different kind of role for her. And this looks really freaky. There's some legitimate criticism about the trailers for Ma maybe giving away the entire movie. But we don't know that. Maybe that's all in the first act of the film. We just don't know. But they both look kind of freaky. They both look pretty good. All right. Which one is going to do better? Now, one opens the week after the other. So they open in back-to-back weekends. They're not opening on the same weekend against each other. Which one's going to do better than the other? Well, this is what we know right now. Right now, the tracking for Brightburn, it's projected to make somewhere between $10 and $12 million opening weekend. Now, some of you may be looking at that saying, that's terrible. Well, there's a couple things to keep in mind. One, this is you can tell from the trailers, this is really low budget. But number two, you can also tell that this movie wasn't made for a broad audience. This movie was made for a very defined, smaller audience, right? There's not a lot of us who are like me that are going to be losing our minds for this thing, right? I'm sure a bunch of you are as well, but we're in the minority, I believe. So I'm not terribly surprised about that. Ma has a little bit more of a broader appeal, I think, than a Brightburn does. And right now, it's being projected for a $15 to $30 million opening, which isn't bad for a movie like that at all. So right now, here's what I'm guessing, Rob. And this is, again, just a guess. My guess right now is that those projections will hold up, that Ma will do bigger business. But I'm thinking I'm going to lose my mind over Brightburn. I think that's going to be the movie that I enjoy the more. Again, I haven't seen either film yet, so I can't say for certain. But my guess right now, I'm going to enjoy Brightburn more, but I got a feeling Ma has a bit more broader appeal. It's going to actually do bigger on its opening weekend than Brightburn. What do you think?
Well, they released that scene from Brightburn yesterday. I
didn't see it.
Oh, it's a scene. We've seen it in the trailer where the door explodes and he goes at the waitress
and she locked herself in the freezer.
Yeah. Well, they showed an extended clip of that scene when the lights explode and she gets a shard of glass into the iris.
Yeah, I saw that in another clip before.
And she has to pull it out, and the way I'm like, oh. The trailer, it's not trailer. It's like a 3.5 minute scene. The scene looked really good. I'm excited for it, but Ma is just like one of those irresistible stories. So I think Brightburn's probably going to be more successful than they're projecting because, again,
I hope so.
There's nothing. They don't have any way to gauge it really. But Ma is a Blumhouse movie. The kind of subject matter they can go. Movies like this have made this. Brightburn's a dark horse candidate, so to speak, in the box office derby here. But I think Brightburn's going to surprise a lot of people, but I'm really excited to see Ma. That kind of story's right up my alley.
And another thing that makes me excited about it, not just Octavia Spencer, who was in just this fabulous film a few years ago. One of my favorites of the past number of years is called The Help, that Emma Stone was in as well, and Octavia Spencer was in that. And that movie was directed by a guy named Tate Taylor. I believe that's his name. Tate Taylor is also directing this with Octavia Spencer. Apparently, the two of them are actually best friends in real life, and apparently were even roommates for a while. But Tate Taylor's directing this as well. Now, Tate Taylor also directed, I believe it's called The Get Down, where T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, played the Godfather of Soul, James Brown. Right? I love this guy's directing. But again, just like we've never seen Octavia Spencer in a movie like this, I've never seen Tate Taylor direct a movie like this. And I think there's a lot of potential here. So I'm hoping it's good. Listen, I've got some pretty high hopes and expectations for both of these films. But I'm kind of expecting and hoping that I like Brightburn a little bit more. But we'll have to wait and see how that works out.